This episode is brought to you by the Haddonfield Public Service Announcement Council. You may remember certain indiscretions from Haddonfield's past involving Michael Myers, the infamous masked killer. We all have reason to fear Michael. He kills at random and with the hate of 1,000 devils. For this reason, we suggest that you leave. That's right. Just leave. Michael is like a localized weather event. He strikes relentlessly, but predictably, within the same vicinity of Haddonfield. So just leave. Don't be like that trailer park that gets leveled every year in Tornado Alley, where the residents vow to carry on and rebuild. Michael will find you in Haddonfield and kill you eventually. So leave. Just leave.
Hello and welcome to Horror Movie Talk.
An opinionated and accidentally funny horror movie review show. Go, 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 go.
I just had to stroll through the scraggly woods.
He had no face!
Horror!
Sabrina, don't just stare at it, eat it.
New theatrical releases always get priority.
But we also review older horror movies, both good and horrible.
Wow, that didn't sound good.
Up here, Michael. Up here.
Hello and welcome to Horror Movie Talk. Your panel of expert hosts each week are Dr. Bruce Henson, who holds a PhD in spookology, and me, Professor David Day, the foremost expert in scare meow meows. Usually we give new theatrical releases a priority, but we also review older horror movies, both good and horrible. Today, we will be reviewing the most anticipated movie of the entire millennia, Halloween Kills. That's right. It's finally upon us, and it's going to prey on us and bash our skulls in relentlessly or break a halogen bulb and cram it into our neck and then feed us delicious Michael
Myers
through the glassy shards. A cool thing you may not know about this podcast is that we have the very, very best community of any podcast out there. You can check that out by going to our Facebook group. And there's just a whole heap and helping of really kind, cool people over there. You can also check out our website, horrormovietalk.com. From there, you'll find links to all of our social media, all our YouTube, our Reddit, all of that baloney. You guys should also know that we have second Saturday watch parties every second Saturday of the month, if that wasn't super duper obvious. We also have a Twitch channel. So, we do Dead by Daylight gaming with all the horror movie characters over there. We post new episodes every single Wednesday, and so if you subscribe to us, you can hear us every week. And if you'd like to get a hold of the show, call us at 682-253-4468. We have a great show for you guys today. We're going to start out by giving a brief review and our score for the movie. We score on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being bad, 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 5 being average, 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 and 10 being good, good, good. After we give our score, we'll get into spoilers and take a deeper dive into what we liked and hated about the film. Later in this episode, we're all crammed up with all sorts of good baloney. We got taglines. We're going to check the voicemail lines in a little bit we like to call whores. And we're going to be reading nice reviews for a change instead of bitching about bad ones, because we just have, you people have been so kind to us and just left us a bunch of nice reviews. And I want to make sure those get heard just as much as the stupid idiot ones. So as I said, we went and saw Halloween Kills, and I was shocked by the insanity of the violence at the start and end of the movie, and bored to literal tears by the squishy, awkward middle. So without any further ado, let's get into the trailer.
Hey, what are you guys doing out here?
It's Halloween. We've been trick-or-treating.
Are you alone?
There's a creepy man in a white mask.
Where?
And he keeps, trying to play hide and seek with us.
Where did you see him? Look! Oh my God. Run! Go home now!
come on!
We killed Michael.
My grandmother set the fire.
No one told you.
Told me what?
Michael Myers is alive.
A man couldn't have survived that fire. Years ago, the boogeyman came for us. We are the survivors of Michael Myers.
Lori, what do we do?
We fight.
Mom,
our family will kill him.
We're gonna hunt him down and we're gonna put an end to this.
He is not gonna stop killing until we stop him.
If you track Michael's victims, that's a straight line to Michael's childhood home. Someone's in our house.
He's coming for me, but I'm coming for him.
You want to kill someone? Take me! Michael!
I want to take his mask off and see the life leave his eyes.
Michael Myers sounds like me on most episodes.
Halloween Kills is in theaters right now. It's also streaming on Peacock. So you can get it anywhere you want. You know, you can get it in both holes. Halloween Kills picks up directly where Halloween 2018 left off. Spoilers, he makes it through the fire and goes on a murderous rampage through his hometown of Haddonfield. While the residents decide to make their own stand against his evil, they do their best to try and find and kill Michael in a mob justice-style coup. Michael creeps through the town, brutally killing random strangers, bystanders, and homeowners. Mostly taxpayers. Tax-paying citizens. We both had the same feeling.
Yeah, why don't Michael Myers kill all the homeless?
I just don't have anything in common with you. Yeah. Stomp his dog to get to death. Eventually, everyone ends up with more Michael Myers than they bargained for.
Did we, though? I feel like it wasn't much of a bargain with how much Michael Myers we got in this movie.
Yeah, we'll get into it. My review for Halloween Kills is it's a cool concept that is hampered by slow-witted dialogue and an unneeded morality appeal or play. Who was the person clamoring for a bare-bones morality tale in a Halloween movie? I feel like I understand the Halloween fan base pretty well. I respect them, and I know I'm an outsider looking in, but none of them are asking for this. The entire second and third acts of Halloween Kills are bogged down by inane dialogue, cameos, and homages to previous films. I will say this, the violence is pretty incredible when it actually happens. Some of the kills are so brutal and disgusting that I was impressed. I don't think I've seen such incredible brutality done so well since Possessor Uncut from 2020. You can listen to our review of that if you scroll back in our feed a year. The kills were done so well that I actually got into them to a degree. Instead of a dialogue-driven homage fest, why not do what Michael actually does best? Creep around the town of Haddonfield with Michael stalking and killing his victims. Sparse music or silence accompaniment to pair with the gurgling, gasping, and screaming of defenseless townsfolk, just trying to get away. Show how evil Michael is. Don't tell us, because we know. That's why we're here. Make us gasp in awe. Make us fearful of walking through the parking lot at night to get back to our cars and drive home. It bums me out that Halloween 2018 didn't get a hardcore follow-up because I just like to fuck, man. And I feel like if they had gone and swung for the fence in the brutality department, they could have made a movie that people spoke about in hushed tones. Instead, we got this kind of like, where's Michael? What's he doing now? Hey, Michael. Hey, where? Oh, you don't stay away from me, Michael. Or it's...
But take a good look, because it's the last time.
It's the last time you're going to see these. Yeah, it was just kind of... What did you think, Bryce?
Yeah, I mean, I felt the middle part of the movie... Well, it goes from the opening with, you know, some great kills. Well, no, it opens with, like, the flashback, right? Yeah. And then it, like, transitions over to Jamie Lee Curtis's family... or Laurie Strode's family for a long time. Like, for too long. And then it cuts back to...
The true opening you actually missed, which was a direct pickup.
No, I didn't miss it. I was there for most of it.
No, you missed the part where the kid comes and finds his friend. You walked in on the part where they're flashback to 1978. But it was just a quick opening. It was literally to scotch tape them together, the two movies.
So, anyways, like, the amount of Michael Myers in the beginning and middle of the film is alarmingly low.
True.
And I was like, what are... And what's annoying is that when Michael Myers isn't on the screen, they're trying to stuff a story in there, but there's really no story. Right. Like, there's nothing... There are some people from the original, killings that want to take revenge, which is like, okay, not that interesting. And then there's Laurie Strode's family, which almost nothing happens for half of the movie with them, but it dwells on, hey, we're still here. We're still in the hospital.
Yeah.
And you're expecting, like, something to happen around them, and it never does. Like, they have to go out and find Michael Myers, basically. So, yeah, I mean, it was kind of a weird structure for it, but I agree with you. The kills were fantastic, and I think a lot of that is because they borrowed heavily from previous Halloween movies. I think it's not a coincidence that the movie's called Halloween Kills, because it's almost like a montage of past Halloween kills.
You were right. Yeah, which is clunky and shoehorned in. Like, when you're constantly trying to fit in the exact window slap from the first one, then you're not focused on making a cool, new, interesting movie. You're just focused on reliving or making fans do this fucking Star Wars thing where it's like, oh, I remember Yoda.
I know what that is.
I know what that is. Oh, boy, I like that. It's like, well, yeah, but you know what you would like more? Michael Myers, decapitating someone in an incredible new way. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the brutality in this could have been, like, this could have, if anybody's seen the movie Terrifier with Art the Clown, that could, I mean, this could have been so much darker and weirder, and it would have brought the franchise to a whole new level, but instead it was just, where's Michael now? What is he doing? No, you stay here. It's too dangerous. I will go, ugh! It's like, okay.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of stalking from Michael. It's just like, okay, he's here now. Let's kill people.
Ah! Yeah.
And then cuts away and he's gone.
Ah! Yeah. My score for this one is this. I mean, I'm just so irritated by it that there were some fun and funny parts in it, but man, the dialogue brought it down so much that I gotta go.
The dialogue was pretty bad. I mean, it's a slasher level quality, and honestly, it's not that far off from the heavy-handed dialogue that Loomis used to say on the previous films. But
you're supposed to learn from your past and improve.
There's no Loomis character to be like, well, this is kind of the crazy, unhinged guy that goes on rants. There's not that guy in the movie, so they have to disperse all that dialogue throughout all of the townsfolk, and it's just retired.
Well, even if it was Loomis, like, just because they did it in the past doesn't mean it was the good part of the movie. That just means that was the shitty part of the movie in the past. Like, make the new one better. You've had a million iterations. You knew what you were doing in 2018, in my opinion. This was not good. This is a 5 out of 10 to me. This is a totally average. Maybe it's hard for me to not go to a 4. Like, I kind of want to go down to a 4, but it was the kills were pretty impressive.
The kills bring it up for me, and the sheer delight I had in some of the really stupid moments bring it up for me.
Yeah.
I wasn't bothered as much by the kind of the slowness or just like the spinning the wheels aspect of it, especially as the kill started coming at the end. I'll give it a 6. But yeah, it's one of those where the dumbness didn't bother me. It just delighted me sometimes, where I was laughing out loud with like the extremeness and earnestness they had in just stupid things, like chanting, "Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight." It's like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird to me that those are the parts that were fun to you, because in dumb slasher movies, the parts that are fun to me is the insanity of the violence, or, it's the character motivations are so typically like bland. It's like, let's have sex. Woo, we're partying. Oh, yeah. That kind of, it's just like, okay, who cares about these people? Let's kill them. And then that's the funny part.
What about like Crispin Glover in Friday the 13th part?
Oh.
Something.
No, he's a lot of fun, but
where's Corkscrew?
But that's some sort of all totally other thing. Like, that's like getting to watch a crazy person like informative years, it's like, oh wow, you were nuts. Look at you. Like, and it translates so well on visually. No, but yeah, I don't know, it just did not strike me right. So there you go, a 5 and a 6. But you want to, if you want a 10 every time, you head on over to nightchannels.com, because every shirt and sweatshirt design and print they got over there is a 10 every single time. These are deep cut designs from horror movies, cult, satanic music, like alternative and metal. Deep cut designs that you're going to want on your body. And now they got the new Bella Canvas shirts, and they're super silky soft on your little baby nips. They're gonna be so happy you got a Bella Canvas shirt. Oh, so, and if you use code HMT at checkout, you get 13% off your whole order. Certifiably the spookiest percentage. So yeah, we love Night Channels. Just take the Night Channels challenge, go into nightchannels.com, just browse around a little bit, and then see if you don't come back, because you will. And when you do, you're going to use that HMT code at checkout. You're going to save yourself 13%.
As you listen to our mid-roll and us talk about all the ways you can give us money, or all the places you can spend your money, and you're bothered by that, you should know that you don't have to listen to this section.
Don't have to.
And in fact, if you become a patron, you'll get early access to episodes without the min-roll in it.
We'll cut it out.
Cut out the ads. So head on over to patreon.com/horrormovietalk. Check out the different tiers and different perks for the different levels, and you'll find something that you'll like.
We cut them out,
And say goodbye to these, because it's the last time.
We cut them out. Say goodbye to
them. Also, with Christmas approaching, you got to give your loved ones the gift of a Horror Movie Talk t-shirt.
Horror Movie Talk t-shirt or a Patreon subscription.
So head over to Patreon or our website at horrormovietalk.com and go to the shop and check out the different stickers and tees that you can buy. Also, as you're at our website, you'll see a lot of awesome artwork for each episode, and that's done by Dustin Goebel. He's a professional artist who fucks hard. He also takes commissions for artwork from HMT fans, so go check him out at Instagram at dgoebel00. That's at DGOEBEL00 on Instagram. And he's also been streaming when he's been doing our artwork on Twitch.
Hell yeah. And it's pretty
usually
cool.
on Tuesdays.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to get to see how that process works. Actually, that's a pretty good idea. And now on our Patreon, we just going back to that, patreon.com/horrormovietalk, we have all kinds of bonus content over there, and that you get to unlock for real low prices, and we have yearly subscriptions available, so you get to save 13% on the cost of a membership if you subscribe for a full year. So if you were to gift that to somebody for the cost of like $50, you could give somebody a full year worth of access to our afterpods, and that's the whole backlog. So check that out, and that helps support the show directly. And if you'd like to get a hold of the show, you can call us at 682-253-4468. Thanks again for listening, and let's get into spoilers.
Spring break.
Spoilers.
Spring break. Woo! So, we start out Halloween Kills in an incredible way. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. It was actually. I'm thinking about the first act, and the first act was engaging and interesting, and built my hopes up a lot. I was like, yeah, holy shit, this is good pacing. This is fucking insane stuff with him coming out of that
the
burning building. But really, a lot of it was the pacing, and a lot of it was going back to 1978, and exploring what happened with Michael and his sister, or no, not his sister, with
the cops that
the cops
didn't shoot him,
right. Yeah, the guy who prevented Loomis from shooting him in the head, and these kids,
there's so many. I mean, the characters from the previous films that are featured in this movie are so incidental in the first movie. It's almost like no fan's gonna actually care about these, are they? It's the kid that goes to knock on the Myers house's door, and Loomis scares him away. That's one of the kids in this movie, heavily featured. I think that's what's his name? Longstreet from
Robert Longstreet.
He
was actually in the first. Oh no, it's his character.
The character.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's. I'm sure there's fans that care about that, but it's weird to have such a focus on them.
Yeah, the most distracting and unnecessary cameo was Kyle Richards as Lindsay, the beautiful brunette who also happened to be the little girl from the first one. But she's a Orange County housewife now, And so I've seen...
They call it the OC.
The OC, sure. Yeah, well, I mean, how much OC have you watched, Bryce? Because I've watched a tremendous amount. And it was very distracting for me to be like, oh, now... No, like, first of all, I just hate that bitch. Okay, because she's...
You're talking about Real Housewives?
Yeah,
OC?
I'm talking about Kyle Richards. Like,
I thought you were talking about the OC, which is...
As a person.
Oh, okay.
No, I do not like Kyle Richards. She's annoying at best. But that's what they're all there for.
Is there anyone in those Housewives shows that's...
I like Gretchen a lot. I like Gretchen
You're like, hey, I like this person.
No.
They're very nice.
No.
They're very nice and down to earth.
Well, I mean, they're edited that way, you know? It's produced that way, Bryce.
Right.
You're not supposed to like them. Right. Yeah, no, her sister was actually in another horror movie. It might have been I can't recall. Yeah, people are going to slaughter and be like, they're not researched. Yeah, no, I'm not. I have opinions on movies.
What are you talking about? We're not researched. We're talking about the Real Housewives' OC.
Yeah, there you go.
We watched several seasons of it to prepare for this show.
There's kind of an unnecessary little 1978 story of the most 1978 looking kids. Like, the casting for these kids was perfect. These kids looked straight out of 1978, down to the weird little facial features that you're like, that's an old kid.
Those genetics have been bred out by now.
Yeah.
That's a 70s face.
Yeah, it is. It was. I was like, God damn, those look like exactly like the kids you'd see in this movie from 1978. That struck me. Something we should mention before we get too far into this is this was, co-written by Danny McBride, who's actually got his hands into a lot of the production and writing for horror movies. For some, I think he did Alien Covenant. Mm-hmm. I think he was a big push behind that. Danny McBride kind of coming under the radar with. I think he was a big part of the reason the first Halloween 2018 got made. So I thought it was kind of interesting. Like, I don't know.
No, he was like the co-producer, co-writer on that one too.
Yeah, so we have him to blame for this terrible, boring, lackluster, homage fest. Hang on. I cut that out. I just lost my place completely.
So it goes to like a talent show.
Yes, now we're back in present day.
We're back in present day. After like the carnage at, showing Mike Myers destroying the fire department. Goes to this talent show and it shows basically all those kids that were in the 1970s flashback are now grown and old and like somehow reliving the glory days of almost getting murdered.
Yeah.
And like celebrating this thing that happened 40 years ago.
Well, bonding over shared tragedy.
Yeah. Is that realistic? Like, I'm not sure that's how trauma works, where you have a group of people and you celebrate the anniversary of the traumatic event.
I mean, I think it's definitely a thing that people do. We remember tragedies in our lives. We remember people who have died in the time when they did.
Yeah, but I mean, you celebrate like their birthday or something. You don't celebrate like, oh, this is the day that Johnny got stabbed in the throat. Like, no, you'd usually like...
I don't think they're celebrating. I mean, they're remembering.
They're at a bar.
Yeah.
And like drinking and reminiscing about it.
I mean, that's like what you do at bars. You drink and you reminisce.
It feels very artificial to me. Like, if like a lot of your friends and family were killed on Halloween, what I would do would be, hey, there's a little kitty. Hey, kitty. What are you looking at? Wow, she's really Stair Force 1. What do you want?
A cat has appeared outside the window. Some sort of Halloween cat has appeared outside our studio window. Bryce is enamored.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if like my friends and family were murdered on Halloween, you know what I wouldn't do? Probably go out on Halloween. I'd probably just like, oh, this holiday has been ruined for me. Like, it doesn't mean the same thing to me as it does to all these other people.
This seems very natural to me. This seems like a thing that would totally happen.
Yeah, 40 years later, for people that don't... They're not even closely related. One of them's like a nurse from back then.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like little kids. So at what point did the little kids, like, and this nurse victim get together and be like, hey, we're starting Victims of Michael Myers Club. We meet every Tuesday.
I think
every Halloween we're going to go to the bar and thrust our trauma on everyone around us.
I think it's a small town kind of shared experience kind of thing. I mean, it just let us know. Call us at 682-253-4468. Was this stupid or did this feel natural? I don't know. To me, it felt like a little slice of life thing that tends to happen at bars. When a bunch of people are inebriated, it's like they bring up all sorts of awkward, horrible things and force them upon you. This is like a bar.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess that's the part where it went over the top for me is when Michael Anthony Hall, his character, gets up during the talent show and is like, hey, guys, so want to take a minute. Why don't you sit right there, tell you all about how I became the Prince of Haddonfield. And he's like, all right, all you guys are having a good time, but I want to tell you about how there was a murderer, and he killed a lot of our friends and family, and he's pure evil, and we're still traumatized by it. And they're the people back there that are traumatized. We're drinking to drink our troubles away. Well, anyways, I'll see you guys later. It's like he got up to the talent show because his talent was bumming people out.
Yeah. It's almost like he was drunk. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You're definitely right. He was a bummer. You're right. He's Captain Bringdown. But I've been part of many parties where Captain Bringdown shows up because of alcohol. It's like,
sure.
I murdered. Like one time I was at this party and this guy's like, I murdered countless thousands of men. I don't know how many people I pulled the trigger on because I was an artilleryman. And everyone was like, it was like the record scratch moment. I was like, okay, now we got to do this. So I don't know. Maybe it's just...
you just go like, wow, you're a monster.
No.
How do you live with yourself?
He was having a hard time keeping himself alive. It was not an easy time for him. And I feel real bad for him. Because he was a murderer.
I don't think it counts as murder if it's during wartime.
So they're putting out a fire over at the old Strode residence at Laurie's old place.
Oh, did I have this backwards? So it goes to the bar and then it goes to the...
No, I think you're right. I think that was how it happened.
Okay.
It was a bunch of flashbacks.
There's a bunch of things.
Flashing back and forth between...
Feels like regardless of what happens, the pacing was weird.
It was a little weird.
And at some point it comes to a screeching halt after the house fire and Michael Myers breaking out and killing an entire fire station full of firemen.
Let's not we
don't see Michael Myers for a while.
Yeah, it's a long time. But let's not gloss over Mike coming out of that house. That gave me chills, and I felt like that set the pace for a badass movie. Like, as this house is just burning to the ground, like, he's murdering the firemen inside.
Yeah.
And he comes out and he's like, he's got an axe or something in his hand, like a fire. Oh, no, he's got one of these pry bars, one of these structural firefighting pry bars with a pick on one side and a pry on the other.
Yeah.
And he's holding it like he's ready to fuck.
Uh-huh.
And all these firemen kind of get the, like, this is a call to action.
Uh-huh.
We're going to fight now. And so they all kind of square up. And one of them points this little hose at him and sprays this limp dick.
See, I think they're
spray onto Michael's chest. And he's like, water does nothing to Michael. He kills that guy straight up.
Well, yeah, I think the implication is that that's supposed to be a full force fire hose and it does nothing to Michael,
but it looked like a garden hose stream.
Right. It doesn't translate because you can't actually turn a fire hose full on someone and have them not topple over. So in what you see is like just basically, 3 or 4 garden hoses taped together and the pressure that would come out of those hitting you. And it's not believable in the visuals, but I get what they were trying to go for. Because that was the first thing I went to is like, you got a fucking fire hose. Just bowl them over. Like, he can't touch you if you got a fire hose.
Yeah, I mean, the way to do that would just be to, like, take a steel rod, put it up Michael's back, put him on a plate that's welded to the rod, and then have him walk forward through it. It wouldn't be terribly believable, especially at this point in the movie. But it would be better than this little weak stream limp dick, like...
It'd probably blow off his mask. Like, if you got hit in the chest...
It would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess there's a way to do it. Well, I wonder if that would actually hurt too much, though. Like, if you're...
Oh, you get a dummy in there.
If you're pummeled... Yeah.
There's, movie magic, the budget they had for this thing.
Yeah.
They could do it. Anyway, he crumples this whole squadron of firefighters, and it was badass. It was like, oh shit, Michael is back.
It gets to a point where it's like, okay, once you make your villain so invincible that there's no one strong enough to put up a fight at all, I don't know, it loses something for me.
Yeah.
Like, I get it that he's a big, strong man, and that he's, like, unstoppable and, like, will not quit. Mm-hmm. But an entire station full of firefighters that are just, like, rolling out hoses, climbing up ladders, and they've got, like, just beautiful greased up pecs and just a sweet, sweet asshole. Like, they can't put up a fight to Michael Myers. They can't even, like, hold his hand for a minute and, like, stop him from swinging down a giant axe in their face.
Can we please have one conversation that's not about my rack, Michael?
Like, I don't know. It's like, it starts to jump the shark for me, where it's like, okay.
Well, that's the point. Yeah, I mean, that's the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. All of that, yes. I thought about saying those things, but I thought, well, that's a silly thing to say in a Halloween movie.
Well, I mean, I guess it's the further it gets away from the source material, the more stupid you have to go.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, in Halloween, like, Michael was bested a couple times by a little teenage girl. Like,
yeah,
Laurie Strode gets him a couple times.
Yeah.
Like,
staggers.
And then she stupidly throws away the knife like 5 times.
Hey.
But
don't blame the victim.
She got away from him, and was able to, like, get him off her, and she's like a teenage girl. So you're telling me...
Yeah, but that was like...
Some hot, sweaty fireman with his glorious body isn't going to rip off Michael Myers from some victim?
Ew, no, David.
Yeah, so, I mean, you may be right. I mean, who knows? Who's to say? But, you know, Laurie was dealing with a 20-year-old, you know, Michael Myers. This is like a 50 or 60-year-old Michael Myers. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, he's got that old man strength, you know? He's much different. That's
true. Old man strength no one can beat.
He's assumed his final form.
And he's got the brain of like a 6-year-old,
yes.
too. So, I mean... Do the math there.
And he's probably retired.
Right.
Up here, Michael.
Retired strength.
Yeah.
Retired strength is the strongest strength.
Let me tell you, I had a buddy when I was a little kid, and his brother was retired, very much older than us.
Obviously.
Deceptively weak looking, unbelievably powerful person, and could turn it on and just a snap.
Was he wiry?
Oh yeah.
There's a couple like factors for strength. There's wiry strength, there's old man strength, and there's retired strength.
Don't sleep on big boy strength.
And if all three of those...
Do not sleep on big boy strength. I'm dead serious, dude. I've got an injury that I received when in 7th grade that haunts me to this day from a big boy.
Yeah.
It's powerful. Anyway. Michael is some sort of combination of big boy, scrawny, retired, and old man strength.
Right.
When you put these together, it's basically like a gorilla.
Right.
Yeah, and then he kind of he like some of the kids. Let's talk about. Listen. Okay, so the middle of this movie, I'm not going to say anything more about this other than it's just, where's Michael? What's he doing now? Don't you go in. I'm going to go in. It's too dangerous. It's no one's safe. Go inside. Find Michael. Don't come out. Stay. Oh, evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight. Like, you've heard the whole middle, and it goes on forever. So we're just gonna...
The only thing other than that is this weird part where they mistake some mental patient for Michael Myers, and the entire townsfolk with pitchforks start chasing after this guy in a hospital. To the point where it's like,
tale.
How many people are fit into this hospital? Like, why are all those people there?
Because,
like, why?
Angry mob.
It makes no sense. Like, why there, though?
But also, why?
It's like they didn't want to have another location. They couldn't rent out that bar for long enough. They're like, oh, we tried to schedule shoots at this bar for 3 weeks, but they only let us in there for 2 days, so we gotta relocate to the hospital set.
Yeah.
The entire town's people.
Well, I mean, so the way it works out is, like, there's a bunch of people who have been sent to the infirmary, to the hospital because of injuries, and this is where the unruly mob starts. Mm-hmm. And what's the name of that man from The Breakfast Club? Anthony Michael Hall is in there, and he's like, evil dies tonight, no more Michael, Halloween blows, boo, boo, boo. And it gets people all riled up. And they
it's basically the Kill the Beast song from Beauty and the Beast.
Thank you. Yes, perfect. And then they mistake.
There's a man with the mask, and he's going down the streets, and we gotta kill him today.
Yeah, and
ew, no, David.
Kill the Beast.
And they mistake this inmate who's there in the hospital for Michael. He's an elderly man.
Which is
he looks a little bit like an egg.
It's like looking at
Danny DeVito.
Yeah, it's like in the movie Twins, where it's like Arnold, where the point is like, well, those guys can't be twins,
right?
It'd be like you take Arnold Schwarzenegger and be like, and then Danny DeVito, and you're like, hey, there's Arnold, chase after him.
Yeah, it's like putting Pee Wee Herman next to The Rock.
Right.
And being like, oh.
There he is right there.
Same race, same gender.
Hey, his hair's way too long, and he looks like an egg, and he has no strength whatsoever.
Yeah.
And he's just scared.
Oh, did you invite Egg?
What? Say goodbye to these!
Those are blue too!
So then the townsfolk go on this rampage to kill this inmate, thinking he's Michael. And the morality tale that plays out in excruciating slow motion is, who is evil? Are we evil, Bryce? Are the mob justice that we seek is ill-fated?
Evil is spreading.
It's within us.
It's spreading, David.
Evil is actually within us. Okay, who the fuck cares about this morality tale? Who? I want
these innocent animals have urges they can't control.
Yeah, so that was super dumb. But now let's talk about the cool parts, which I like to call the kills. The kills in this...
The Halloween kills?
The kills in this are insanely void of... I mean, they're so cruel and so visceral, and you sit through the whole thing, you know? Like, the halogen light bulb thing... He just walks into this couple's house, pulls this guy's neck down over, like he breaks through the window, pulls this guy's neck down over a shard of glass. This guy's like gurgling in the corner as Michael comes in to murder his wife for some reason. Like, it's all just so...
Who was that? It was a comedian that was like Bobby Pepitone or something like that.
Oh.
Did you recognize? Anyways.
No, I did not.
That's neither here nor there. But yeah, he kills that guy, and then, I mean, we have this domestic scene where it's this old couple that are concerned citizens, and then, yeah, murders the guy with a shard of glass, and then takes out...
This was the baddest ass part of the whole movie.
Yeah, takes out a fluorescent bulb and stabs it through this woman's neck.
He breaks the fluorescent bulb, this long halogen bulb, and then uses it as a stabbing weapon up into her neck.
Would that work, is the question I had.
We could test it out.
Like, I feel like that would just, I don't know. I guess it would work.
I have no idea. But
I feel like that glass is so thin that it'd be so easy to just crumple against skin, but no.
Yes, there absolutely will be a margarita in my mouth. Spring break! Woo! That house was full of gurgles.
Yeah, I mean,
and she was sitting there watching her husband just be and then Michael just goes back and back, like he's got the dude bent over the table, and he just takes every knife in the house, and you're sitting there for like 45 seconds watching Mike just be like, I'm going to put this knife in your back.
Well, he stabs it into his back to like basically pin him down to the counter. I think this was a missed opportunity, because this is what I was expecting to happen. I was expecting him to be like stabbing each knife into the back until he found the one he liked.
And then it was like...
And he's like, oh, this one.
I like this knife.
This one's good. And he's like testing it out, looking at it, the handle, the feel, the balance. And he's like, after he stabbed him enough times or finds the one, he's like, this one. This is the butcher knife for me.
That would be a good way. That would definitely be a badass way to do that.
Right.
But, I mean, the way they did it was impressive to me anyway. Like, he just leaves this guy with like 7 or 8 knives in his back and just carries on. Like,
yeah.
Like, this is the movie I wish it had been. Like, I wish you were just with Michael the whole way.
Right.
Just follow him.
I mean, that's kind of that's one of the features of Halloween movies, isn't it? Like, POV of Michael.
Yes.
Did they ever do a POV in this movie? Ever?
They might have. I'll tell you, I watched a making of Halloween, the 1978 Halloween, and one of the things that really, like, they spent their whole budget, like, it was a $300,000 budget or something like that for Halloween 1978, and they spent almost the whole budget on cameras. And one of the things that allowed that made the movie really great was they bought this very expensive, like $80,000 Spectravision like lightweight camera that allowed that had a stability portion within, like it had some sort of stability control within, so it allowed them to walk around and do those shots like Michael from within the mask or from his point of view. And we didn't get a lot of that, and it would have been so, like, this movie went so crazy with the violence that if you'd have just followed him around, wow, it could have been incredible. And I think Halloween fans want that, you know?
I know. Instead, it focuses on the townspeople and Laurie Strode's family just all going,
Art, I don't want to alarm you, but there may be a boogeyman or boogeymen in the house!
It gets so played out so quickly.
Yeah, it sure does. Let's see here. What are some of the
other kills that are fantastic that I remember? I haven't seen all the Halloween films, but I have seen like the first. I think it was up to 6.
Okay, wow.
Some of the ones that I recognize, the head crushing one, that was in 4, I think, which is what we're going to review next week.
Oh, you mean the head grab and and pushing the thumbs into the yeah, those gay guys were a fabulous part of this movie.
Beautiful choice of words.
Well, they were.
Yes, they were great. But yeah, the head squeezing one was great. The other great kill was the Laurie Strode's grandfather's friend, granddaughter's friend, like getting his head like shoved up and down on a banister.
Oh, dude.
Until he's like his larynx is like collapsed. Ugh. And that's probably one of the best moments in the movie because he's just utterly brutalized, and you know if he doesn't get medical attention he's going to die, but he's still breathing, labored breathing. He's like and then the granddaughter like gets Michael's attention. He's like, come after me,
leave him to die.
Yes.
He needs medical attention.
And so Michael like goes around and starts walking down the stairs, and you're like, oh yeah, maybe he has a chance. And then he stops and he like twists his head around like a 180 degree, and you're like, oh, okay. And that's a great moment because that shows the evil, where it's like, oh yeah, I can't leave hope.
Or would that be compassion? Would that be empathy, like ending the suffering of a person?
No,
I think it might. I mean, if you find a little baby bird and it's got a broken wing and it's it's bleeding on the ground, you step on it. You got to kill it.
Make sure not to have a major bleeding event near you. Then
I'll put you down. I'll do it.
If you get shot in the street and are laying on the ground, pray that David doesn't walk up to you and snap your neck.
This is a totally different situation. That kid was brutalized beyond. He couldn't have been helped. You said it yourself. We can rewind the tape.
I said he needed medical attention.
Up here, Michael. Up here.
He'd probably be paralyzed for the rest of his life, but you could probably shove a tube down his throat and make sure he could breathe.
I don't think so. I think he was
medical experts. Call into our voicemail and let us know if you think that guy could have survived.
He was DOA. Yeah, there was the scene at the park with Kyle Richards and the kids. Some of the kids' dialogue. So there was a group of kids wandering around wearing the Season of the Witch masks, which, oh man, the amount of cameos and homages in this was just distracting. It was just, okay, we get it. Yeah, this movie takes, and this is technically the position of Season of the Witch. Halloween Kills is redoing that position, the third spot. And it's saying "fuck Season of the Witch," which, by the way, fuck Season of the Witch.
It's a weird thing with like reboots. It feels like that's the formula. Formula is movie 1 basically remake the original, like reboot the original movie. Movie 2 shove every homage, every callback into that thing and just have a bloated corpse of a former franchise, and then movie 3 like have the departure or like have it be its own thing, maybe.
Yeah.
And most of them don't even make it that far.
Say goodbye to these.
Oh, no.
The last time you're going to be seeing these for a while.
Last time you're going to be seeing these callbacks, Michael.
Except I think the Star Wars movies did it in reverse order. They did the complete
new
remake.
One, yeah, was the first.
Number 2 was the complete departure because Ryan, what's his name, actually had balls and wanted to do his own movie.
Yeah.
And then the third one was like, remember the Emperor?
We're sorry. Yeah, speaking of shoving things in there, really cramming them up there, let's talk about
these firefighters.
Let's talk about Jamie Lee Curtis in the hospital.
Oh, yeah. This is the moment where I laughed out loud so hard. It's not even the stupidest thing in the movie, but for some reason I had so much glee.
This was hilarious
because she learns
that Michael's on the prowl.
Yeah, she learns that they didn't kill Michael Myers,
and she's like, no.
And then she gets up out of bed, with basically just having gone through stomach surgery, and for her, she says, "Oh no, it's just a flesh wound."
Yeah,
And she gets up, and then she grabs a syringe, and her daughter's like, "What the hell is that?" And she's like,
"Do you even know what that drug is?"
And she goes, "It takes the pain away."
It makes the pain go away.
And then she shoves it in her ass and just goes, "Ah!"
She crams it way into her butt.
And she just screams with utter agony.
Yeah.
It's like...
Spring break.
And it's just so... dumb because
it's bad
because a syringe doesn't hurt that much.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, like that makes absolutely no sense, and it's done for like dramatic effect, and it
lands totally right though. It lands hilariously. Like I'm surprised more people in the theater weren't like like because both of us were unable to contain our glee. Like that was because the delivery of the line, it makes the pain go away. Boom. Oh.
Yes, there absolutely will be a margarita in my mouth. Spring break.
It's like it's just that was the dumbest moment in the movie. That's where it's like, this is so dumb, I love it.
Yeah. That was hilarious, and I did love that. These gay guys were the only redeeming characters in this movie.
Right, and also, like, the only new characters.
Yes, yeah. Big John and Little John. Little John played by Michael McDonald from Mad TV. You may remember him as Star.
Look what I can do.
Look what I can do. And he perfect.
Yeah. And I love that Big John is the shorter one, and Little John is the taller one.
Well,
and
it insinuates.
You kind of do the math there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You know who Little John is, you know?
Say goodbye to these.
Oh, no.
The last time you're going to be seeing these for a while.
It's the last time, Michael. So, Big John's eyes get squoze out. This manhunt aspect with the unruly mob's totally dumb. The morality lesson was so inane and dumb. I really can't stress that enough. But at the end of this whole thing, we get to the part where the mob catches up with Michael. They killed the wrong. The inmate jumps out of the hospital. He kills himself. And they're like, who are we? What have we become? Moving on. Let's kill Michael. So then they go find the real Michael this time. They unmask him.
Oh, yeah. He's the one with the mask.
Wow.
He's like the 6'5" fella that's built and has a mask on at all times.
It's not Danny DeVito. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh.
Yeah. They find him. They unmask him. But you don't get to see Michael's face, really. It's blacked out pretty well through the whole thing.
Who unmasked him? Wasn't it the granddaughter that unmasks him? Because he comes out of the house. without the mask.
Was it the granddaughter, or was it Allison?
Or it was Judy, what's her name? Judy Bloom? I can't remember her name. The daughter of Laurie Strode.
Right.
I think that's
Judy Greer.
Yeah, Judy Greer. I think that's who took the mask and took it into the street, and that's when the townsfolk ambushed him.
Right. By the way, Judy Greer is the person who all of these drops are
Right.
from
Arrested Development.
Arrested Development.
Remember me? Perhaps this'll jog your memory.
Yes. Oh.
One of the best bit part people in Arrested Development.
Yeah.
Can we please have one conversation that's not about my rack, Michael?
She got those nips that are just pointing the total walleye direction. They're just like, what? So while the townsfolk are beating up Michael in the street, we get this overlaid speech by Jamie Lee Curtis of, the more he kills, the more he transcends into something that no one can defeat, which is fear. So Michael becomes somehow fear incarnate. And as they've basically curb stomped him into the ground, he rises and decimates all of them and becomes the paranormal Michael.
Right. It's
the supernatural Michael.
This is like the feature of every slasher movie of like, you have the killer. You have the serial killer that's killed like hundreds of people by now.
Yeah.
It must be. And you've all agreed as a town that this person does not deserve his day in court. So let's shoot him a couple times and stab him once, and we're good.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's lying down. That's it. He must be dead.
You remember what happened with the last guy, right?
Let's not check for vital signs or, cut off his head or shoot him in the head. Or tie him up.
But at this point, it wouldn't have mattered. She had already given the transcendence speech.
Right.
He's immortal at this point.
See, that would have been the great part if they shot him in the head 3 times and then he still stood up.
Yes.
And okay.
Yes.
Now we're dealing with Jason now, basically.
Well, yeah, or, old Michael.
Right.
So there it is. Michael's back. He's badder than ever, and he's basically immortal. My final recommendation for who should go to see this, it's a dumb, common slasher. It could have been so much more. But it has way too much talking and not enough killing. And if that sounds like a good time to you, I'd say go nuts. It's the biggest movie this year. The biggest horror movie this year, hands down.
What was the other new release?
Candyman?
Oh, yeah, Candyman. That was the other slasher. Completely forgettable.
Oh, wow. You forget about it. I remember it very well.
Yeah. I was like, wasn't there another, slasher type movie?
This is the second week in a row where you're like, what was that other big movie we did?
Yeah.
Low-key, the other biggest movie this year, but arguably bigger than Candyman, was Conjuring Devil Made Me Do It.
Well, yeah.
Which is super forgettable.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's possibly our most successful episode, technically speaking, ever. So
was it?
It's rising the ranks.
That's right. It was pretty huge.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, Halloween Kills. I mean, it's Halloween. Why not go to the theater and see Halloween Kills? It's also on Peacock.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, are you like me to where? No, I guess you're not. You have more subscriptions than I do, but
just by one.
I just look at subscriptions and I'm like, no.
Really?
If there's something on it, and I know I should just be like, well, yeah, it's the same price as a movie ticket. Might as well just get Peacock. I'm just like, no.
Yeah, no. I've rationalized it in my head by continually doing the Blockbuster math. I go. Right. I used to go to Blockbuster when I was very poor,
right,
and spend $15 on a night.
Yeah, I've gotten better at it, but I still can't bring myself to spend money online. Like, it's just so hard for me to be like, because it's either my mind is associated with like piracy. It's like, well, I could just pirate this for nothing.
Sure.
This movie. Or it's like, or I can subscribe to Amazon or Netflix and get a billion things for like, what is it now? Like $12 or something?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so I'm buying a rental movie for $4?
Yeah, I mean,
what?
And then
like,
the other thing that really freed my mind was Horror Movie Talk becoming financially somewhat solvent. Right. You know, so Horror Movie Talk takes care of our streaming bills. So now, you know, a Paranormal Activities coming out, and we're just going to get Paramount Plus,
right?
And we're going to share the subscription,
right?
That's not a big deal. We can cancel it if we want to. We probably will.
We're not sharing it. It's Horror Movie Talk LLC owns it, so. It's not illegal, is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, no. We are Horror Movie Talk LLC.
Right.
Right.
So, yeah. Anyways, you can stream it on Peacock.
So, check it out.
Schmuck.
And now, let's get into Taglines.
Taglines!
Here's Taglines. Taglines is a little bit where we write new taglines that are funny, stupid, cringeworthy, and you get to cringe around and enjoy our dumb taglines that we're writing for the movie. So, I have 4. How many do you have?
I have 4 as well.
Hey, that's pretty good. I'll go first since I did this to us. This is based on a meme.
Okay.
Michael Myers just wants one thing, and it's fucking disgusting.
Halloween Kills. Who will win? An entire town or one stabby boy?
That's right. You said this in the theater, and it made me laugh a lot. One stabby boy. Oh, man. This is a long one. I don't know if this would fit on the poster.
Okay.
But we would, man, if they
More of a mission statement than a tagline.
Right. Yeah, no, this is the mission statement for the movie. Where's Michael? What are you going to do? No, you stay here. It's too dangerous. It ends tonight. I'm going to stop Michael. Michael is pure evil. He just looked out his sister's window. Did you see Michael? Where was he? On this night 40 years ago, a horrendous evil occurred. No one knows why he did it. Yar! He's a remorseless killing machine. It's the whole middle part of this movie. Okay. You might recognize it.
All right. Halloween Kills. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. And one stabby boy.
Okay. Halloween Kills. If I see Jamie Lee Curtis jam one more thing in her ass, I'm going to explode.
Oh, my God. I don't know why that's so good. That's so good.
It makes the pain go away. Ow! The pain!
Halloween Kills. Giving Halloween fans what they want. Jamie Lee Curtis in a bed.
Okay. So it's about 60 years too late. Halloween Kills. Housewives of Haddonfield would be a great show.
Halloween Kills. Taking the series back to its roots. Boring.
Boring. Channeling Norm.
That was a Norm joke.
Oh, man. So I forgot. Oh, yeah. Now we're going to be doing a little bit called Horror Movie Talk.
Whores.
You go ahead and intro this while I pull them up.
So, Horror Movie Talk Whores is where we check our voicemail. very, very basic. So if you want to leave us a voicemail, that number is
682-253-4468. I don't think we have a big backlog of calls.
Yeah, we got through a lot of them.
Yeah, we got through a lot of them last week. But here we go.
Hey, David and Bryce. This is Robert from Utah.
This is Robert from Utah.
It's Robert from Utah.
It's Robert. He called back.
Yay!
Yay! Robert called on our Ernest Scared Stupid episode. No, he called on our Lamb episode.
On Lamb.
About
Ernest Scared Stupid.
Yeah, and we asked him to call back. So here he goes.
I was just... I got a bone to pick with you.
Okay.
Scared Stupid episode. 4 out of 10. Come on, guys. That's a good one. Like, I know it's cheesy, but it's a good lead movie to get kids into the horror genre. Anyways, here it is.
Robert, I can't hear you. You got to enunciate or get better reception.
Yeah, that's weird. So
this is on brand, I feel.
Yeah, it's on. So he's still calling about Ernest.
Yeah, I feel like he's got a bone to pick with us about Ernest Scared Stupid. I'm not sure.
So the first call was like halfway through?
Maybe. Oh, he calls back later. So in a couple calls, we're going to get to hear Robert again. Okay. And I'm very excited about this.
I'm also sorry. I feel a little bad that I sounded very condescending on the last week. But I was just so excited to...
It's in your nature. You can't help it. It's the same thing with you. It's like... Oh, I know this guy, you know?
Okay.
Look, you did it to him. It's only fair it gets done to you. Now everybody's even.
I don't like that. But yeah, I'm just so delighted to hear someone from Provo that was very excited that we covered Ernest Scared Stupid. Yeah. It's like, I feel like I know this person already.
No, you know? I really can't stress this enough. Robert, you need to keep calling the show because I love your takes. Okay, so let's see. Somebody says it's Cocktober?
It's fucking Cocktober. What's up with my favorite pair of balls? Bryce and David Day.
Oh, it's Bugsy.
Anywho, it's your boy Bugsy from Tampa. That watch-along party was awesome, even though David wasn't there. He was too busy getting murdered on the set of Halloween Kills and filing a petition to have all the firemen from fisting each other in that movie. I mean, we all want to see the fisting firemen. David, please just let us see it. Anywho, new Scream trailer dropped today. Kind of looks like a straight-to-DVD film that had to shoehorn the OG cast into it in hopes of a decent box office. But
he's talking shit about the new Scream movie that they shoehorned in a bunch of OG characters from the... What does that sound like to you, Bryce? Huh. That sounds familiar, but I feel like we just...
Wow, I don't know. Was there a movie that we reviewed recently?
I can't shake it.
Shoehorned a lot of arbitrary...
Was it Candyman? I mean, Candyman did have a lot of callbacks.
A lot, but...
Let's see what he says.
The movie doesn't look too good. I mean, dude, Halloween Kills. That trailer is a 10 out of 10. If you think Scream's good, the new Scream trailer, then Halloween Kills must be a 10 out of 10. I mean, just saying. New Chucky TV comes out tonight on Sci-Fi, guys. Y'all excited for it? I'm excited to see what Don Mancini can do with his gay teenager main character. You know, everybody's got to be gay or R-worded these days. But, you know, we got new Chucky. We've got new Michael Myers. We've got new Ghostface. It's a great time to be alive as a slasher fan. And I know how much everybody at HMT, Bryce and David, you guys are just the biggest fan of slasher. So I'm sure you're going to love this Cocktober. But even though going into Vag-November, I love you guys. Can't wait to be a part of the Halloween 4 review at the end of this month. Let's get it. Bugsy.
Yeah, let's get it. Next week, we're going to be reviewing Halloween 4, which is with Bugsy in tow. He's I love how Google Translate, Google translates Bugsy in the most insane ways possible. Like, he goes, you heard what he said, but here's a little part of what he said, of what Google says he said.
The Google transcription.
It says, "It's a great time to be alive as a slasher fan, and I know how much everybody at AT&T, Price, and David, you guys are just the biggest fan of Flash or so." It's like, yeah. Anyway, my point is, you know what would be better than a new Chucky and a new Scream and a new Halloween? A new slasher.
A new anything.
New anything. Give me something new. Not old, revisited, new.
Yeah, I mean, Chucky I can't get too mad about because he never left, really. Like, it's not a reboot. It's just he gets a TV show now.
Yeah.
And I kind of agree. The fact that it's Don Mancini in charge of it, it's like, it's his baby.
Yeah.
And, it should have the same tone as the original. I don't know. I looked at the Scream trailer and I thought it looked pretty good.
Did you? I haven't watched it. Lots of people, I feel like I let our fans down, because, they'll be like, "Did you see that new Scream trailer?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not going to watch it." And then they're like, "Oh."
Well, the other thing about you is you don't remember watching them, if you do. Like, we go to movies in the theater, so that means you've seen basically any horror movie trailer there is.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Scream trailer was in Halloween Kills. I wasn't there for him, but, like, I imagine if you saw it, you'd be like, huh?
Yeah, it's very for me. I mean, there are definitely people who are excited about it, obviously.
Right.
But
It's just a whole cottage industry of breaking down trailers and making trailers like the most important thing. It's weird.
It's almost bigger than the real movie.
Yeah, it's like monetizing reactions to trailers is, if you step back and think about it, is just the weirdest thing. It's like commerce and capitalism has like broken out of its bounds to where we're celebrating advertisements now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird.
I want to start a YouTube channel where I have reactions to just
reactions
TV advertisements.
Yeah.
Just be like the latest Whopper ad. Be like, whoa! Yep. Good old classic. They mention it's flame broiled.
Well, welcome to Running on Empty Food Reviews. He does that.
Well, yeah, but that's like an actual review. But if you were actually
he does breakdowns of the he does breakdowns of the advertisements.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
sometimes.
Okay. Well, I guess
it's like,
as with anything,
I'm
in this
real
world,
excited to
it's
see
already
what this new Whopper's all about. Before they had the junior and the senior, and now they got the super senior, and it's like, okay.
There's a senior Whopper?
No, it's a play on words.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so hard to think of any new idea now.
Okay, so to give you an idea how goofy Google translates your voicemails, here's the next call from Robert. But I'm gonna read what the translation says, and then we can compare it to what he actually says. So he starts out, "David, this is Robert Milford, Utah. Just a quick kiss on the neck." Let's see if we get a quick kiss on the neck here.
Okay.
Hi guys, Bryce and David. This is Robert the Farther from Utah. Just really quick. Why does everybody gotta be eating on the neck? I mean, that's a good show. I don't know why everyone's like, oh, they're all this stuff. It's a good show. You just have to read it. My all-time favorite horror movie is The Thing. Just really good movie, awesome effects. Anyways, I'm listening to The Lamb right now. Good. I saw that movie. I think 8 out of 10 is probably fair for it. Anyways, see you guys later.
I think he farted twice.
Yeah, I think he's trying to brand himself, Robert the Farter.
Robert the Farter?
Yeah.
I
did not catch what the beginning of that message was at all.
No.
Something neck.
Yeah, Robert, you need to. I know we already ragged on you about.
Let's replay it. Let's see if we can parse out what he says in the beginning.
Hi guys, Bryce and David. This is Robert the Farter.
Robert the Farter. He says Robert the Farter.
Yeah, from Utah. And then I didn't get the next part.
Just really quick. Why does everybody gotta be eating on the neck? I mean, that's a good show. I don't know why everyone's...
He said, just a quick kiss on the neck.
Why is everyone the neck?
Yeah, I'm not
What is
sure.
he saying?
I don't know.
Robert, you got to call back.
You got to get a better...
Get a landline.
Yeah, get a better phone. Talk into your phone. Make sure it's real clear. You heard what you sounded like. Okay, and here's our last call.
Hey guys, it's Ian. Sorry, I'm a little fucked up right now. It was one of my best friends, basically a brother birthday, so I've been drinking a lot. But Bryce, I just had one question. You're talking about the butt licking. If Nicole Kidman wanted to lick your ass, would you let her? And David?
Wait, go ahead, respond.
Okay, I mean, I thought I was pretty clear on this from
to be fair,
when we talked about it. I did say I would, of course, like my asshole licked.
I'll allow it.
Like, yeah, I mean, I think that's...
Okay, Nicole, I guess you can lick my butthole.
All right. Calm down, Nicole Kidman.
Get in line.
Take a number. I'll call you when I'm ready to get my asshole licked.
Can you wait in line behind Janelle Monáe, please? Yeah. She's a little busy right now.
No,
eating my butthole.
I would also feel horrible for her for licking my gigantic ass, where it's like, there's no amount of cleaning that I'd be comfortable with, like, feeling like, yeah,
a fresh spring
breeze. This is fine for them. This is fine.
It's the dirtiness that makes it fun.
Right. Like, no, of course, like, who wouldn't want their asshole licked? I can't imagine anyone wanting to do it, though.
Well, Ian sounds a little inebriated. It was his brother's birthday.
Maybe that's the thing. Maybe just you have to get so shit-faced that you're willing to get shit on your face.
He continues.
I agree with you. Janelle Monáe.
He agrees with me about Janelle Monáe.
That's my chick that I think is hot and sexy and all that right now.
Yeah.
Like I said, sorry guys. I just want to know that I'm fucked up right now. And when I was with my friends at the bar, ass licking got brought up, and I was talking about you guys. So I just want to know that, Bryce. I love you guys. You guys are the fucking best.
Dude.
You really are. Love you guys.
Dude, love you too, Ian. Ian's a total mensch, and I would be happy to talk about ass licking at the bar with Ian.
Yeah.
Yeah, Janelle Monáe is like my cheat girl. Mm-hmm. You know, if she would have me, obviously.
Right.
And, you know, I would check my privilege at the door because I don't want to make her feel bad, you know, that she's with such a stunner, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm half of Horror Movie Talk LLC. We will soon have a subscription to Paramount Plus.
Yeah. It's a pretty big deal.
Right.
So, I love in that episode where I just kind of took the wind out of your wings by talking about reality. It's like, who cares? It's like, you pick the hot person.
Yeah.
Like, that there's no chance of you ever. Who cares?
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's like playing Fuck, Marry, Kill. Obviously, it won't happen. You're not killing
Well, yeah,
anybody.
I mean, but that's like a hypothetical. I guess the
is
part
the
of
other not?
the part,
no, Nicole Kidman's coming to eat your ass right now, Bryce.
I'm just using...
Prepare Uranus.
Okay, I'm just using straight white male logic to where we all know that when we're thinking about, like, oh, yeah, I mean, I would... My freebie is Janelle Monáe. Like, any reasonable person would be like, well, obviously that's a hypothetical, and that's just a way to say you're very attracted to that person. In the mind of a straight male, I feel like a very important part, and what really can help you understand us, is that, no, we think there's a chance. Like, we're still... I feel like there's like... There could be...
Why you gotta bring race into it?
An opportunity.
I think most males feel that way.
Well, yeah, I'll take away the white part. I feel like most straight males are like, yeah. There could be a situation. I don't know. Maybe I'll be parking their car.
Testosterone makes you engineer weird shit in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To where that's like, we're not really joking around when we say like, oh, that's my one.
Natalie Portman, someday we're going to meet. You're going to meet me. Yeah. Meet the Fockers. So now let's move on to our final bit. We're going to read some nice reviews for the podcast. And one new one that we just got today that's actually, we're going to address it right up front. And I'm going to say I'm going to do my best to change this, I think. Let me read it through. The title is Good, but Stop Flirting with Spoilers. They are great, and it's got 3 stars. They are great, but it drives me up the wall when they're discussing a series and hint at some greater meaning of an event based on something they know from further in the series. Would be a 5 otherwise. So I think
they must be talking about Midnight Mass.
Yeah.
I think there was like 1 or 2 times where it was like, oh yeah, and I was like, oof.
Yeah, sorry about that, Tommaso Cromwell. It's hard not to do, and we acknowledge that. We acknowledge your gripe, and we will try to do better in the future.
Yeah, I really tried to not do that with Midnight Mass. I was like, I think the most that I did was like, what did you feel now in this episode? Like, what did you feel where it's going to go? Because that was like the most interesting part for me watching it. Where it's like the beginning episode, you're like, I assume this is what this is the type of horror that it's going to go towards, and it doesn't go in an expected way. So even just saying that could be a spoiler. But I don't know.
It's further complicated, but you got to understand, I think, with Bryce, one of Bryce's it's something I can't relate to very well, but I see it and I understand it a little bit, which is being the first to watch something or to get to experience something is close to Bryce's heart. He's like, I've seen this before anyone.
Well, I mean,
it's not a judgment. I'm just saying this is a feeling that you enjoy. I think. Is that fair to say?
No, it's not something I seek out. It's just situationally, like with Bly Manor and Midnight Mass, we got press screenings, which is a cool thing.
Yeah, it is a cool thing.
Just the fact that we have advanced access because of the podcast is cool. And that's not other people have. It's not the fact that I get to hold that I saw it over other people.
No, I wasn't trying to insinuate that.
Right. I can wait, but it wasn't the fact that I saw it before other people. It was mostly that we saw it so we could do the thing that we did.
Yeah. Yeah, totally agree. So let's go back a ways. We got, this one's titled Funny Normal Dudes. Good to listen to. And it is by Jettles. This person lives in Australia, I believe.
Where is this? Is this an Apple
I'm
podcast?
reading this through
from Chartable. Must be a foreign one.
Yeah, great podcast. I listen to it at work and when driving. Dave is pretty funny and Bryce is pretty smart. Both good guys. The games they play are great and they do offer different options, which is good to hear. They're very welcoming on their Facebook. Honestly, when they replied, I felt like I was talking to a celebrity. Wow. You're not. Would recommend this podcast to anyone who likes horror movies or just guys talking. They make a clear effort not to offend anyone. Very humble of them. I couldn't imagine anyone who would be offended, though. P.S. I love big titties. Okay.
Well,
I love the Australians. We got a good following in Australia, and I love them. They're sweet people. You're the smart one.
Well, yeah. I mean, I texted you about this when it came out at first, because I love that when people put us in like, oh, this is the dynamic and this is how it works. David's the funny one. Bryce is the smart one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my mind doesn't go to flattery.
I'm smart.
My mind doesn't go to flattery. My mind immediately goes to
I'm not funny.
I'm like, I'm funny. I'm fucking hilarious. Like, what? fuck you, dude.
To be honest, I'm the smartest person I know.
Right. So I texted David. I was like, I bet your initial reaction was the same as mine. I was like, what are you talking about? I'm smart.
Yeah, I don't take it.
But
to me, it's incredible that anyone listens to the show at all. I just feel fortunate.
Yeah. Just for the record, we're both funny.
We're not. Neither of us are smart. This one from AMC Commas, clearly an ape. Thank you is the title. Just wanted to say thank you for your contribution to getting me through my workday. I've listened to your entire catalog and recently became a patron to start listening to the Afterpod. I look forward to the show every week, and you guys never disappoint. Thanks again for all the great content. Keep it coming. Listen, if you want to help the show, you can do what this person did. You can become a patron, but you can also do what this person did and leave us a nice review on Apple Podcasts. This is so helpful to get a 5-star review, and we are happy that we can contribute to, your happiness with our podcast, and we love doing it. And thanks for the good review and being a patron. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Do we have new patrons to thank, by the way?
Are we through the...
No, but I figure
we'll do that at the end. Let's not mix it up.
New title, new favorite podcast. This is by Carly. Normally listen to true crime podcasts, but recently started listening to some movie/TV podcasts too. Horror Movie Talk is definitely one of my absolute favorites. Just the right amount of comedy mixed with genuine reviewing. Particularly enjoyed the Hill House and Bly Manor after show reviews. Highly recommended. 4 stars. Thank you, Carly. That's very nice of you to say. We have another one that we read last time, but it bears repeating, by The Real B. Wizzle. Changing my originally harsh review and apologizing. But anyway, thank you for... I guess you've read the review, my previous review, and changed what I was upset about. But anyway, thank you for your in-depth review of Midnight Mass. Thank you for how incredible the final breakdown of the episode was. Obviously, you put your heart into it, as light and hilarious it is at times. Thank you. Great show.
Yeah, we've got a lot in September.
Yeah, it's been so nice to get all these nice reviews and not have them be mean.
So this is from Stabba Wabba. I stumbled upon this podcast about a year ago. I was looking for a podcast that loved horror movies just as much as I did. Jackpot. If you're a horror fanatic, this is the podcast that was made for you. Bryce and David keep you engaged as a listener and are all around enjoyable. Every time I go on a long drive, I put on HMT before backing out of my driveway. Listen to this. You won't be disappointed. 5 out of 5.
Finally became a patron by TVOTR. Hey dudes, I'm just so grateful to have your podcast in my life. I look forward to everything you guys do. I also became a patron today. Thank you. Yes. And it was the Midnight Mass Afterpod that tipped me over into patronage. I would sing the hymn you guys did in the car, sometimes playing it on repeat because it gave me the giggles at a stressful time in my life. Glad to pay it forward. Thank you so much, TVOTR. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
From AMC Comas.
Yeah, I already read that one.
Oh, you did?
From Christoph Ferris. Surprisingly interesting and intentionally funny. A+, 5 stars.
This is a really good one. Just on Thursday, posted titled "Good," and that's 5 stars. It says, "This podcast is good."
Yeah, and it's got a bicep.
And it's got a flexing arm.
And then the last one I have to read right now is by Press Nicoli, titled All the Movies. I found this podcast not too long ago, and it's been so exciting. I love horror and thriller movies, and this is a great place to come because they talk about every major horror movie you could imagine. Man, I wish we could afford to go to a more impressive release schedule and do 2 or 3 episodes a week so we could get to see more horror movies and, replace our jobs with this. But, that day hasn't come yet, but maybe soon.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe soon. So, especially, and it will come sooner if more of you drop us nice ratings like these.
Honestly, like if if every single person that's listening to the sound of my voice found one other person to religiously listen to the podcast like you do, we would doubling our numbers we're to the point where if we doubled our numbers, we would be enough in the big leagues that we could really start making a difference in terms of advertising.
It's true.
Because there's a certain threshold, like we do have some advertisers, but there's a threshold to where you can get on like the lists of, they want a certain amount of exposure, and once you get to a certain point, you can just sign up for a bunch of services that will find you advertisers.
Yeah. Not right now, though. Right now...
Dude, Dad's poor right now.
Right now, Dad's poor.
Yeah.
So that's it. Thank you so much for listening to Horror Movie Talk. We appreciate everything you do for us. And
we appreciate especially our patrons. The new patrons this month so far is we've got Adam B., Ben O., Philip F. Ellis is back, I believe. I think he was here before.
A re-upped pledge.
Fox McLeod upped his pledge, which is awesome. Ian, Rachel W., Riot Punch, a lot of people that I recognize. Mike R., Ian. So thank you so much for being patrons and supporting the show, because, I mean, we're able to do a lot more cool things now because we have a little bit of income. Do you remember back when we started, when we just, like, felt kind of guilty about pumping more money into the podcast? It's like,
yeah.
Like, I don't... Because you get to take time away from family.
Yeah.
Like, oh...
Now the family owes the podcast. No, wait, no, they don't.
My kids need wine.
My kids need wine. You guys have a great week. Now we're gonna record the Afterpod, which is exclusively on our Patreon. So if you want to hear that, hop on and have a great week. We love you. Bye-bye.
Looking for a podcast full of burps and gas, perverted cast, skinny and fat? Look no further. Horror Movie Talk is accidentally funny, begs to donate money, fake sponsors for dummies, and so much more. New episodes every hump day. They'll pickle your dickle for foreplay. Patreon members have it your way. Vote for a movie every month for the review. Chompa chompa, don't just stare at it, eat it like a taco. Put your tongue through the phone hoodie, Picasso. Look at them hot kids, swear not a pedo. Got me too'd with Cosby eating Jello. Pudding Pops done gave Bryce flatulence. Drain addict Dave doesn't give a shit. 1 through 10, is it horrible or excellent? Oil me up, daddy, is dinner rumps. Kiss Bryce Hansen. Look at them hot kids, Chris Henson. Masturbate with a crucifix, exorcist. Face huggers, chest bursters, alien. Linda Blair peed on Sigourney Weaver. I know it's true cause it came from social media. Patrick Bateman can't understand you. Stab you to death for rotten apple reviews. Opinionated podcaster with a doctorate. Spookology, doctor of philosophy. Bad gastritis, need colostomy. Turn Patreons into human centipedes. David Doobie Day, scare no expert. And global fucks hard, professional sexpert. Afterpods, taglines, and porno flicks. American Psycho, them guys pretty sick. Chompa chompa, don't just stare at it, eat it like a taco. Put your tongue through the phone hoodie, Picasso. Look at them hot kids, swear not a pedo. Got me too'd with Cosby eating Jello. Pudding Pops done gave Bryce flatulence. Drain addict Dave doesn't give a shit. 1 through 10, is it horrible or excellent? Oil me up, daddy, is dinner rumps. Nothing good happens in the woods. Always get more than you bargained for. Got a pickle to dickle, machines tickle bitties. Killer on the phone, ain't no Sharon Stone. Vancouver, Portland, Oregon, and organs. Corona, COVID, curse, Lorona. Green River Killer, because reasons. Hallway of poop monster kids, screaming. Ain't your ordinary dingleberry itinerary. 30 days shutter and jump scares, they fucking scary. Time for the spoilers with jokes and tropes. Use their white socks to catch their loads. Just show them one titty, pretty. Paganism you should worship, they Teflon dicks. Pacific Northwest, let them see one breast. Shifty ass, stay spooky, poor man's digress. Bugsy, HMT, horror movie talk. Hold on, they don't like Halloween. Fuck them.
Yes, there absolutely will be a margarita in my mouth. Spring